Hey there, my friend Perry Tinsley here. Let's chat today about transformation because when I think about working with people who are ready to embrace change, and I'm reflecting back to some of the clients that I've worked with before, and even recently, the people that embrace change, I feel so inspired. These are individuals who just decided to say, no more to defending those limitations, those old ways of thinking. And they're ready to step into this new chapter of their lives. So I'm going to talk about these things about limiting beliefs a bit today because sometimes we don't always know what those are, or we've just gotten stuck into some sort of old patterns that we don't recognize them as barriers to keeping us moving forward. But before we get into all that stuff, I do want to say welcome to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset and fitness so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And when you're ready, if this stuff resonates with you, head over to talktoperry.com. That's where you and I can have a little bit of a chat about your goals, the things that you're wanting to achieve, and I'll point you in the best direction to where you can get the best results from. We do that in 15 minutes? I mean, like game changing, absolutely free. Talktoperry.com. But when you're ready, if you're serious about reaching those goals, you can head over there and we can have that talk. So you might be thinking, what does it mean to defend limitations? And it's really interesting because I find myself doing that, and I can notice now when people really step up to defend it. But I don't know if the person that's doing this, and so this is trying to help you become aware, really recognize it. It's when we tell ourselves things that we can't change because this is the way they've always been this way. Okay. And that might be an oversimplification of it, but like, let's say something, I've never been into exercise, or I could never do cardio, or I don't like that. No. And it might be something you've never tried, but you've put a story on it. You've put a label on it that, nope, I would never do that because there's a belief around it. Some people have, it's like eating healthy, it's just too hard for me. Or sometimes people will be like, oh, that's so expensive. And they've automatically discounted that. That's defending the limitation because these things could be the very things that crack the door wide open for you to other opportunities and other things to succeed in your life. One of the ones that I did was like, oh, no, I'm not a morning person, never exercising in the morning. You can't even pay me enough to do it. That's defending the limitation. So, but here's the good news. I'm not to be over dramatic or anything like that. Those are just old paradigms. And that's kind of like old programming that we've been told over and over and over and over and over all our life, or society has suggested to us. And it gets into subconscious mind, and it gets into our actions and our beliefs and our behaviors and just the habits that we have, that we don't even consciously think about these things where it's a habit. We just automatically defend it. We just automatically react or act or don't act about that. So it's just an outdated way of thinking, and you can change those beliefs. You can change that thinking should you want to, should you have a desire. So one of the things that I did when I was wanting to get in shape was, well, I don't have time. I've got all these things. And you know what? I just kept on coming up with a pile, and I don't have the money. I can't. And I basically created a big list of why I couldn't. And I defended those. If somebody's saying, well, why don't you have time? You have time. No. And I would almost like knee-jerk reaction, invent ways that I did not have time. And it was just really, really interesting. It wasn't being radically honest with myself. It was just defending the old belief, the old programming. So here's some things. So should this be you? Should you have like a desire to achieve whatever the goal is in your life? Let's take it as health and fitness, but maybe it's, building huge bank account of money, or wealth, or maybe it's financial freedom, or maybe it's repairing relationships. There's a lot of things you can apply this to. The first step is awareness, and that was, for me, I didn't want to consciously be aware of it. I didn't want to admit something. I didn't want to take responsibility for that. That's other people's problems. That's the situation. I was giving my power away to that, but I didn't see it as that. I just gave those other things and gave myself a reason to not take action toward my goals, and then say, see, it didn't work. And being aware of our thoughts and the stories that we tell ourselves, that's key. And when we catch ourselves defending limitations, and it still happens to me, and I'll come up with something, knee-jerk reaction, and I'll instantly give a rationalization for it and be like, where's that coming from? It's in those moments that it gives you the chance to pause and choose a different thought, because you can hit the edit undo button. You can say, oh, geez, didn't mean to say that. I don't even know where I was going there. Boy, that's some old thinking. No, I don't want to think that way anymore. So one of the things for me would be like, oh, I don't have time to exercise, or, oh gosh, I can't do that, though, that type of exercising. And I would catch myself, or when I was starting my journey, I was about ready to be turning 40. Well, it's too late in life. It's like this is the time that you don't want to be ramping things up, because you're going to get injured. You probably got arthritis. And I could give all the defending reasons, almost like a lawyer. It's like, well, I'm building a case against it, right? Well, I could go on the other side of the courtroom and build a case for it. And I didn't always see it that way. I just saw the one side that I needed to defend, and so that's the first thing, becoming aware. The next one is actually being willing to change. So there are times that we're given the opportunity, and then we're just not willing to do it. We're not willing to take the action and do what it takes. That may be some old programming in there too. That's kind of like there's a little fear factor, and I don't want to get out of my comfort zone sort of thing. Or what if I change and life gets better? Will people still love me? And self-worth sort of things. All that stuff can be in there. But if you can look at this willingness to change, because this is where the magic happens. When we're open to change, and we're ready to leave the old patterns behind, saying, this old thinking, it's not taking me where I want to go. I want to go there, but I can't go there and be thinking like I am here. When I'm at that place, this thinking doesn't exist. And so in order for this, if this thinking is going to keep me from going there, I need to get rid of this thinking and replace it with the thinking from up here and start thinking from there now. I hope that didn't get too abstract for you, but when we create that space and leave those patterns behind, we are open to new opportunities. And so that was one of the things that when I really started committing my fitness journey, I'm like, I'm just going to embrace this journey. I know I'm uncomfortable. I know I don't like exercise. I know, it was all the stories like, yep, that's the way you are now, and we're just going to proceed anyway, because we're going to leave that old thinking behind now. I probably wasn't at that point right now, and that's why I get to do this podcast for you. But that was it for me. It was like, when I started to shift the beliefs and the thinking and to really question the things that were holding me back, and there's still things, there's still stuff that tries to come up. When we do that, we're really capable more than what we ever imagined. Opportunities open up that you wouldn't have guessed. How to get there is usually not in the way that you structured in your head, but you keep just showing up day after day after day. The whole world opens up, and you're like, wow, I wouldn't have expected that. But I should expect that. I should expect some things. That's what me at that next level self is ready for. I'm ready to change. I'm willing to change. I'm able to change. So being around people that want to transform, it really is uplifting. They bring a positive energy. It's really contagious, and that's kind of the cool thing too. And they embrace that it's never too late to change. That's what I started doing. When I was getting to the 40s, like, Nope. My new motto is it's never too late. It's never too late. Just take action. Just do today. And you really become capable of the life you want. And the cool thing is, you when you stop defending the limitation, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. But you got to get real and radically honest with yourself and catch yourself when you're defending it. Realize that you're not stuck. You have choices. So if you're ready to embrace change and really transform your life, and just know that you're not alone there. There's people out there like me who are excited to support you on your journey. That's why I say head over to talktoperry.com. I want to help you. I want to hear the journey you're on, struggles that you've been going through, what your goals are, so I could point you in that direction. Because a lot of us, we have goals, and then we're like a 6-year-old smartphone, 2% battery life. Our energy is so low, and we're distracted by everything. And we're just like, man, and then we start defending that. And so when you can start to make that shift, your energy level goes up. You start to accomplish a lot more. The old stories get left behind, and a new chapter in life really starts to unfold for you the way you want it to. So together we can talk about that. So that's over at talktoperry.com. I'll pop that down in the lower third there. I'll even give you my Power 5 strategy so that you can implement that right away. Because I often say to people, how would your life look different if your mental and physical battery was running at 100% every single day? Talktoperry.com. I probably said that a few times. But just know, you can choose to use your power and take control. Or you can let all the defending the limitations and the old stories and the excuses and rationalizations and justifications and comparison, all that. You can let that control you and drain your power. It really boils down to drawing a line in that sand and saying, I'm deciding, I'm committing to myself and my goals. This is it. I'm moving forward, and I'm just taking it one day at a time. And I've got a no matter what strategy, I'm going for it. And then you'll choose to figure out new ways. Look at possibilities, learn, grow, keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. You can pop those down in the comments there. I do respond to those. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.